Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I would have recorded this outside and also yesterday and had it all uploaded and all that good stuff, but sadly the weather was terrible. It's been raining all day yesterday. I tried to do it today, and I mean, I would have done it in also 0.5 zoom, but all sorts of different little things. Anyways, today we're talking about the Vulp and what I think about it, the Vulp Pro that's just been announced, because I think that's a super cool balisong, and we're going to talk about some few concerns that I may possibly have with it as well. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Saying it early, algorithm, all that kind of stuff. You guys understand. Yeah, but definitely leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on what I think. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. I have some announcements for later in the video, so stick around for that. Some of you that normally watch my other content, we're going to be really excited for that. But basically, design-wise, let's go right off the bat. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal design. Okay, I think it's a really beautiful design. I really like the evolution that it's done from the original Vulp. I was never a big fan of the original design of the Vulp, just the standard Vulp. But I do actually quite like the Vulp Pro. It is a faithful evolution. And I really like the Cygnus-inspired parts. And I also think that the gold and black and the red and black ones look absolutely phenomenal. They are the colorways, some of them. We didn't get a purple. I'm very sad about that. Why didn't we get a purple? Dude, give us a purple, man. Come on. Nabalis, Will Hirsch, you can do it. And yeah, obviously there's a drop next week. I don't think I'll be able to make it for the drop, but if Will Hirsch want to send one for the channel, I'm here. I'm happy to send it back even if I have to. But yeah, that's my little plea right there. But no, I think it's an absolutely stunning design. I'm not usually a big fan of the buoy profile, but I really like what he's done with the new blade in comparison to the old one. And I like that it's only, $140 or £112, which means it's competing with Prisma V1 here, and obviously LDY Orion as well. That kind of bracket of balisongs, right? It's not quite in the LDY Orion's range, although LDY Orion is also kind of punching above its weight. So that's the bracket it's going to be in, those kind of now more budget aluminium trainers, but it's the Pro version, right? So if anything, I would say that the Vulp was actually fighting more the Orion, and then the Vulp Pro is now going to be fighting things like the Prisma and balisongs in this region, where they are, low, between $100 and $150 for one of these guys. And I think that's kind of huge, because in order to compete with the Prisma, it's got to be kind of huge. The reason why the Prisma is such a success is because, one, it's an original balisong, and usually they are, it's a cheap original balisong, right? It's under 150 when it was first launched, or it was 150 when it first launched. And it's also an absolutely phenomenal flipper. Sadly, I don't have the bottom screws in, but it's an absolutely fantastic flipper for the price. I think there are a few balisongs that give you as much flipping for performance as this guy here. And so that's what I'm really hoping, is that the Vulp does end up being a success and does end up being an absolutely fantastic flipper, as Will Hirsch has kind of alluded to it being. Because that's going to really push the whole industry a bit more towards that, we can make cool designs that don't have to be super expensive. So I can't wait until we get titanium stuff that's also fairly cheap, I'm talking cheaper than... I don't need a titanium balisong with the nicest blade steel, leave that for, the high-end ones, right? Give me, ALB, right, that they use for, the Krakens, right? Give me that blade steel on a titanium knife, because Kraken blade steel is just fine. It's nothing special, right? Let's be real. It's no S35VN, but of course it's also made of aluminium. So, yeah, I can't wait till we get cheaper titanium balisongs. Anyways, but other than that, I'm really hoping that it is a good price balisong, because the Prisma has done well in spite of the cloning market, I should say. The cloning, yeah, the share of the market that is clones, because it's such a good flipper, and also its tolerances were really difficult to replicate. Of course, the Prisma V1 now has a clone, sadly. And I do say sadly, because, yeah, it's just, I have a soft spot for Machine Wise, They weren't a big company when they first started. When the Prisma came out, it was basically Dalen and, another guy, or two other guys. And, now, obviously, it's inevitable that their stuff would eventually get cloned, because they are absolutely making a storm in the balisong community. Can I do this without the end weights? Not really. But this thing held its own for a very, very long time, and in my opinion, still does kind of hold its own. There we go, thank you, camera, for focusing. And I'm hoping that the Vulp Pro is also going to be in that similar kind of brand, because obviously I know that Baliplus will have the patents in China, and so they can't really be cloned. You have something like this, the Arm Shark Tsunami, which is more or less the same price as the Vulp, if not slightly cheaper. And this thing is, you know, grade 5 titanium, miscellaneous steel blade. It's probably 410 or something like that, right? But it is a hardened steel blade, stainless. I mean, it's grade 5 titanium, and it's got phenomenal T10 hardware, you know, and it's got really good tolerances, like, out the box. And it's Chanwich, right? And I mean, so that's one of the sad realities, is that the Vulp is going to have to compete with the booming clone market, I should say, because they really have had some crazy developments in the past, 6 months. Especially with some of their newer, products. Especially some of their, like, stuff that's replicating higher end stuff, like this. Which, of course, is not for everyone, right? A balisong like this. I think this is a really neat thing. But that's my one fear, is that the Vulp Pro might not be good enough to warrant advising for some people. Not for everyone, because keep in mind, obviously, if I'm in the States, I'm probably going to get a Vulp Pro over something like this. Unless I needed something titanium. I personally prefer titanium. So unless I wanted something like that, I'd probably be getting a Vulp Pro. However, if I'm in, like, Malaysia or, Eastern Asia, where getting stuff from the States either or even in Central Europe, really, for somewhere that's a bit more relatable for me, because even here in the UK, shipping from China is half the price that shipping from the States is. And that's not even from balisong makers in the States, because shipping from balisong makers in the States is like double the price of regular shipping from the States, because they're always sending their, like, insured, USPS, which is, like, super inefficient in terms of volumetric parcel size. Because, to send something that's this big in a box that's barely bigger than it, you don't need to send, like, this big of a box. That's the USPS box. So yeah, that's one thing I'm really hoping, is that the Vulp Pro is a fantastic flipper, because it looks like it is, and it also sounds really good for aluminium, which is one thing that's also kind of really going for it. And I do think it has the potential, if it is as good as kind of Will says. Obviously, it is tailored to his preferences, so he'll be, like, subconsciously biased in terms of, oh yeah, it's a fantastic flipper, because yeah, it flips exactly how Will wants it to flip, and maybe that, my preferences might be slightly different. In fact, I'm almost certain they are slightly different. Not majorly different, because I do also quite like how the Monarch flips, and I do like how the Seraph flips, and things like that, and he also is a big fan of them. And so I do think we have almost parallel preferences, but I think mine is just slightly more towards that blade bias, rather than, I think he prefers a bit of handle bias to neutrality. So yeah, I'm really hoping that the Vulp Pro is going to be like this Prisma here, and like the Prisma Pro, in terms of, I really am hoping, and I do think it will kind of hold its ground, and I do think it will kind of come out on top in terms of the market that it is trying to penetrate, because I don't think we have enough makers, especially original makers, that are in that kind of, sub $150 range, with good aluminium. I mean, was it 7075? I think it is 7075. No, I believe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it is 7075 aluminium, which is better than what the Prismas were originally. I think they are still 661 for the V1s. But, like, honestly, I'm looking forward to this. I'm really hoping it's good. I hope I can get my hands on one in a pass around or something like that, because I doubt I'm going to be sent it by Will, especially one that's across the country, across countries, I should say, across the ocean, and two, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not someone that's on that list of getting sent balisongs yet, other than from, like, smaller makers and whatnot. Hopefully one day we'll be on that list where we can be considered for that list, because I think I have some pretty good feedback to give for people. Okay, yeah, this thing, it needs the end weights, man. It doesn't flip as well. You're gonna be so much more careful, which is I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. But I've lost one sex bolt, which is just annoying. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. And for the thing that I was going to say as well is, for those of you who want to be buying clones and whatnot, and any of the clones I've reviewed and slightly of the other ones, I'm trialing it for the next kind of few videos. I've left a bunch of affiliate links in the description for kind of different balisongs. The stores themselves I don't necessarily vouch for. Some of them I do, but it's mainly on AliExpress. You've got very good buyer protection, so if they don't fulfill your order or they give you the wrong order, you can file a return or file a complaint and you will get your money back. So that's why I'm not too worried about that, but I'm not responsible for, if you make some sort of blunder and whatnot. But I would personally be fine with buying from any of the stores on the links below, and there's just a fat portion of the description where you can just buy clones, an affiliate link. I get a slight kickback out of it, so it's a nice way you can support the channel and get yourself a balisong, especially if it's one that I've reviewed or spoken positively of. Sadly, the only link that's on there is the Tsunami here, because they are currently really difficult to get right now. I've not found a store that I would be happy buying from, other than maybe if you wanted to do collar song, but ideally I've kept it on AliExpress, so that you can have that reliable buyer protection. And yeah, so that's just that little thing. For those of you who have stayed around, because you guys are the real MVPs, leave a like, leave a comment, buy a very expensive balisong with my link, and then, maybe I'll get like £1 from it or something. I'll get like a very small kickback. I doubt it'll even be £1, but he'll make more than YouTube, which is making me negative money. If anything, YouTube is costing me money to do right now. And so, yeah, I think this is a bit fairer of a thing to do rather than like a Patreon, because I'm not really sure what else I could give you guys, like in terms of exclusives, maybe early videos, but I like getting videos out to you guys as soon as possible. I could give you ad-free viewing on there, but like realistically, I'd say get an ad blocker. Get an ad blocker until I can actually make money off my videos, and then maybe you can turn it off for me. But it's even then, it's like I don't know. But anyways, yeah, you guys are the real MVPs. Those of you who have stuck around to here, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. And, I'll probably be making a new video on actually a really cool resource about how you can find what's in a fantastic balisong for you. It's not going to include clones. It's going to be just original balisongs, but it's for almost every budget range and for any experience level and for pretty much any preference as well. It's a very cool resource. I was put onto it a few days ago. And I think that it's a super cool thing, and I cannot wait to get to show you guys that. I'll probably be on Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah, I think that's super neat. And yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys that as well. So that's the next video, if you're wondering. And then I think this weekend we will come with a review for this guy, because I think it's long overdue. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.